Welcome back to Troggy Trog's Let's Play DDO. I wanted to go over a few things before we start our next quest, which will be, I believe, this quest here, the Miller's Debt. We're going to try to get all the level 2 quests done today. And, well, first off, let's do a daily dice roll. See what we get for that. I rolled a 46 last time. It's exactly the same thing. I think we're on a streak here. Anyway. Well, that's heroism though, so that's going to be good for doing traps, I think. So for now, we'll just put that one down there next to our trap stuff, in case we forget that we have it. I'm getting full up too, by the way. So a few things I did. I went to the auction house and I got some +3 Thieves tools relatively inexpensively. So it was just like I don't know, like 25 plat or something like that. So that was a cheap deal off the auction house. That would give us a better chance at disabling some locks or devices and opening some locks and things, because you get a higher roll than you do with these. So it's 2 points higher, or actually 4 points higher, than our starting Thieves tools. And then there are also +5 Thieves tools. I think it's about as high as they go. So eventually we'll try to get some of those. But it's one of the things we want to save our plat up for initially, since we are a rogue, is trying to get Thieves tools and also bags. You know we have a small 12 item stacks, or 12 stacks, and then this one's a 6 stack. I think the next size up is a 12 stack. They call it a medium bag for the gem bag, and it's a medium bag for the red bag, and that will hold 30 for the gem collectibles bag. I'm sorry, the red bag. We already have a small ingredients bag and a tiny ingredients bag, so we should be okay for a good while with those. The next size up above the mediums are large, and they hold around 100 unique items. But and then there's even bigger ones than that. But generally, most of those are available through the DDO store. The large bags are extremely rare. We may see one drop for us in our entire career with this character. That seems to be the case. When I TR a character and run them from level 1 through like 20 something, I may get one like large bag, and it's random. You don't know which one you're going to get. There is a way you can get them with planner shards out of the subterranean, but that's a lot of farming to do that, and we're not going to be farming much with this character. So, all right. So we see what we have here. We have a lot of spaces getting filled up quick. Obviously, we can make some room, and I did. I went to the bank and did put a few things away. I'll probably end up putting this silver flame trinket away. I went around and basically ran around all the public areas to get any quest or any items that would be beneficial at this point. And I did pick up from a vendor for platinum. I just bought a wand of Cure Light Wounds. I thought that would come in handy. As you can see, there's no UMD check for paladins, rangers, druids, etc. So since we have a level ranger, we don't have to worry about UMD checks on that. And then might as well go ahead and use this. So we're getting really close. I believe this is we're almost to level 3. So let's take a look at that real quick. Alright, yeah, so we're just like just a little way away, a fraction, 600 and some, or 700 and some XP away. And so we're going to be looking at enhancements and stuff like that pretty soon. Again, in fact, we have an extra action point now after we did Misery's Peak and all that, so we could technically get this and unlock it, and then we'll probably get these 3 magical endurance thingies here. That'd be good for the spell points. And then we'll get this intelligence, and then by the time we hit level 4, we should be able to unlock this here. So we'll go ahead and do this now. This will give us a little bit more damage, plus some spell points for later on. Okay. And then another thing we want to do is let you guys know. One thing I want to show you is, as you can see, I have a guild. Who drank all the Algonian blood wine? So yeah, we have a guild now. Basically, it's just me and the guild. There's a Skyrim reference here. And as you can see, as we unlock renown in our guild, You know, like the first tier is 400, so it won't take too long. We'll eventually get to this point where we can get an airship, and then we can start putting amenities on the airship. And these will be beneficial to us. I was saying the other day in a quest how a lot of people have guild buffs running, and I don't plan to have a lot of guild buffs. You know, I'm just going to be by myself, so it's just going to be me leveling this this character in this guild, and no one else. That's the plan, at least. And so one thing I was thinking about doing was getting the guild just so you guys could see it. So plus it was 50% off. So for the guild charter, so it was relatively cheap right now. They have a holiday sale. So yeah, that's basically what I wanted to catch you guys up on that. And oh, and another thing I wanted to do. This is probably going to be like the last time I kind of sit down for a good while and talk about all this kind of stuff. Another thing I wanted to do is basically let you guys know, because this is something I don't want to do very often. I'm going to just basically try to specialize on just doing the quest and getting the reward. So, you know, I'll kind of give you a summary of what the quest objective is, but we won't go through like all the dialogue and spend that time doing that. So this is kind of like the time right now that I'm spending is kind of letting you guys know to expect a little bit more you know, straight to it type quest. You know, let's go right to it and get to the quest and enjoy it and do the quest and then get to the reward giver and then get our reward and then we'll move on to the next episode. You know, I'll probably try to do one quest per episode. So some quests are really short, like this one here. Some other ones are extremely long. You know, we may have episodes that have like multiple parts to just one quest. But you know, early on in these low-level quests, this is, you know, pretty easy. Another thing I did today is, you know, when I went traveling around, is I went to the crafting hall, and in the crafting hall, there's a quest there, so you can kind of learn about crafting. So that's what you'll see. These couple items here in my tiny bag or small bag. They're just crafting items, and I actually did get a couple little levels in crafting, but I wasn't really trying to be a crafter, so I got to level 2 in this one. But that's just because of the tutorial quest. I don't really plan on doing any crafting with him, but I thought, you know, hey, you know, at least I'll have that, and you guys can know about it. And if you ever need to do that tutorial, it's over in the House K crafting hall. I think something else might be eluding me, but maybe I'll remember it later on. But yeah, that's about it. I mean, we have about 5 minutes left on our hireling, and oh yeah, I have a quiver now. I think that's something new as well. I don't think I had that in the last episode. I am occasionally going to go to the auction house and the vendors to see if there's any good deals to better up my gear, because it's just, I'm playing the game. You know, this is part of Dungeons and Dragons Online, so even though it's a campaign, there is a global auction house, and there are vendors that you can go to and buy gear that other people didn't seem to think was worth anything to them. So, you know, one person's junk is another person's treasure, right? So, all right. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. We'll get into our quest here, the Miller's Debt. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and get our hireling, because she's on a timer. Might as well just go ahead and bring her in before. Oh, it's a solo dungeon. Never mind. Forgot that was a solo dungeon. Alright, yeah, so if you see this, there's blue for this. Normal is usually green, hard yellow, and delete's red. So this is a solo dungeon. I wasn't even thinking about that until after I clicked on it. Like, oh yeah, duh. Okay, so this is relatively easy.
You have searched every area within the Miller's home.
We need to
save
find
the
the
basement.
Also, a good thing to do is check to see if there's any barrels. Sometimes, you know, when you walk in, because you can't see it out of your periphery in these quests. So if you're going for ransack and stuff, keep your eye out for that kind of thing. And I often forget to do that. Oh, Mealer, where are you? Mealer, Mealer, Mealer. Uh oh, that's not a Mealer. I am not the droid you're looking for. Okay. And we'll check over here just to make sure there wasn't anything over here. I know there really isn't, so let's go ahead and just keep on going. Mealer, where are you? Oh, that's not the Mealer either. Now, why would you take a vial of contagion if you knew it was a vial of contagion? Like I identified it as a vial of contagion. That's kind of scary. That's
Ever-bright lamps litter the basement floor. Oh. Someone was trying to quash the lights.
Hello, Mealer Tarragon. I know the coin lords are demanding payment. I've stored the first installment of goods in the room beyond that door over there. Go ahead and take it. I won't stop you. Thanks for making this easy, Tarragon.
The miller has told you the goods meant for the coin lords are in the back room of the basement. A particularly nasty-looking iron defender charges forward.
Silly dog. So yeah, they have these like automaton type constructs and things in this game, which seemed a little bit steampunk-ish. Not quite medieval fantasy technology, but it's medieval fantasy. And one person's fantasy is another person's. We'll open this other one first. Like ooh, we need one of those. Perfect. So like my idea of fantasy personally is not to have
acquired the miller's goods. Time to return them to Berrigan-Enge.
Not to have like in a medieval setting, like a low fantasy or mid-range fantasy medieval setting. Say like something like Lord of the Rings or something like that. I kind of like the Robin Hood. That's just me personally. If you're going to call it that, Dungeons and Dragons is. Had a lot of different fantasy settings over the years, but Eberron's just not one of the ones I like. It's like, it's all right. I like this game. I like the mechanics, I like the quests and stuff. But I would have preferred to see it, set in Greyhawk or Mystara. Even the Forgotten Realms part of this game is good to a certain degree, but I wish it was a little bit better. I feel like those quests that were added into the game later on just weren't quite as well done as these older quests. But that's just me. I mean, some of them aren't too bad, but it's just personal preference. All right, so we had a ring, and I know I'm rambling. Probably should just keep my mouth shut about my opinions on some of this stuff. But hey, it's my channel. I get to do what I want, right? All right, so natural armor versus this. I think this ring here has a few more things going for it. Move sign. It's a toughie. For now, we'll just do that. And we'll put this one on the back page. We'll just have to think on that one a little bit. Alright, so this quest will just finish out. Alright, let's see what kind of reward we get. Wow, that's a tough choice. That armor is better than what I'm wearing. But my armor that I'm wearing is actually doing me pretty good. And I do have a guild to build up. These are tough choices. When you get a guild, all of a sudden it's like, oh no, that's a tough choice. You know, but I think I'm gonna pass on the heroic deeds for now. And you know, I'd like to see what this armor looks like. So I'll put that on and check it out there. If it's ugly, we'll just sell it. You know, it's worth a lot of plat. Oh, that's not too bad, I guess. I mean, it could be better. I don't know why. Am I thinking like that's not what Kevin Costner wore in like Waterworld, was it? It looks kind of like tights. You know what? You know, we'll just go ahead and use it for now. This other chain shirt we'll just put back here as a backup, just in case armor does take damage, and sometimes you come across rust monsters and different things that do damage to your armor. So it's good to have a second set of armor if you can carry it. Okay, so thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.